It's very easy, Crop.
Whenever they want to go.
We have the technology.
Whenever you're ready.
We can do it.
Let's
We're
go.
going live?
Live.
All right.
All right, gang. Welcome. Here we are at Sunday Night Live at Susquehannock. Tonight we have a great show for you. It's going to be fantastic. We've got great guests in town. We've got the lake. We've got blue sky. And so without further ado, let me introduce our hosts tonight, and they'll take over the show. First, on my left, the lovely Scar-Legged from her bushwhacking trip up through the mountains, lost but recovered and back to camp, Abigail Haino. And on my other side, the stunning, dashing young man, Elliot Barr. And here they are, your hosts, Elliot and Abigail.
Right.
Elliot, what ice cream are you enjoying tonight?
Little vanilla ice cream with rainbow sprinkles.
We all are enjoying it.
We're all doing it.
So first we're just gonna have our guests tell a little bit about themselves. We actually have a returner on the show. If you guys don't remember, she was the cookie champion.
The cookie.
Yes, yes.
We're going to do the
Fastest
same with
cookie
ice cream.
eater.
We're going to put it on her forehead. And we have to,
Trail it all the way down.
it's in my eye.
Audrey, would you like to reintroduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Audrey. I am formal title, the True Sport Education Lead. Informal title, Awesome Possum. So excited to be back at camp. What a lovely day we've had.
Yeah, beautiful. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Chris?
Yeah, my name's Chris Mazder, four-time Olympian, Olympic silver medalist in the sport of luge, which I like to consider ultimate sledding, basically. So I am a professional sledder. It's my first day here in camp. Clearly, I picked the correct day, and we had an absolute blast. And this place is amazing, so it was a true pleasure being here.
So I actually have a technical question first. So what would you call like a person who does your sport?
A loser.
Okay.
Straight a loser. Yeah. Don't be considered like we're not losers, we're losers. All right. There's a subtle difference in pronunciation.
I just wanted to double check.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as you touched on, you're an Olympian, USA, representing the USA in the Olympics. What year was your first Olympics?
2010 in Vancouver, Canada.
Okay, not far from home.
Since I grew up in the Northeast, it's a couple thousand miles, but in the grand scheme of things, yeah, not too far away.
Not compared to.
Not compared to China, Russia, Korea.
2010 makes you a young man.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I still go sledding for a living, so I would say I'm a young man.
So true.
So did you grow up kind of dreaming of this Olympic kind of future?
I mean, at a certain age, yes, but at first I loved sledding as a kid, and even when I found luge, I didn't know it was an Olympic sport. I just thought it was the most fun that I could have in the winter, so there was no Olympic aspiration at first. It was just to kind of make it further and further up the mountain, and it probably wasn't until I was 16 where I was like, oh, I've actually got a shot at going to the Olympics, but I just did it because I loved it.
So just taking it to right now, you're done 4 Olympic Games now. Sort of, what is your yearly training regimen? Are you training year round? Are you, you're up here at camp right now. You must be enjoying some sort of time off, unless you're training in the morning.
I mean, you guys are playing a ton of games, and so there's no perfect crossover from luge in the winter to like a summer activity, because we're going down a sheet of ice at 90 miles an hour with minimal friction, metal and ice, so there's no feeling like that anywhere else. We'll put rollerblade wheels on our sleds and we'll go down in the summer. We'll still go really fast, but it doesn't feel the same. So in the summer, we're weightlifting, we're working on our stars, we're working on our equipment, and we're also honestly playing a lot of games, different games too, because our movement it requires a lot of coordination, and you don't get that by just doing one thing. So it's a really important thing for us to actually play a bunch of different sports. So whether that be volleyball, badminton, I'm just thinking what's set up at like the Olympic Training Center in the Bay. It's like basketball, badminton, volleyball. There's trampoline, so we'll do some trampoline, some air awareness. So we love to play as many sports as possible in addition to that weightlifting.
If you could compete in another Winter Olympic sport, what would it be?
Ooh. Probably it would be skiing, but like the speed events, like the downhill, the Super G.
High
Yeah, my
adrenaline still.
body would not be happy with me
Yeah,
because they
that's-
crash so
that's
hard.
intense.
It's really intense, but it's insanely fun.
I'm going to turn it to you, Audrey.
Okay.
You're here with us today wearing the True
Good
Sport
advertisement.
proudly on the chest. Chris, you as well. Chris is a True Sport ambassador. Audrey, I'm wondering, from a True Sport perspective, what do you see in him as an athlete, and how does he embody True Sport and their values?
So, first and foremost, Chris is a very humble individual, but he's also very good at looking at the experiences that he's had and expressing what he's learned from those experiences. So when we're out talking with younger athletes, there's a lot of value in hearing what someone who has reached really the pinnacle of sport, what their experience has been, and then knowing that they too are also learning the same things that those folks are learning.
20 years of failing really kind of teaches
It
you.
helps.
It really
It
does
helps.
help.
Yeah,
A lot of I would say Luge has been my best teacher. Absolutely.
yeah.
A lot of life lessons learned the hard way.
See what I'm saying? See, right there. That's why.
True sport.
That I should have let him just talk. That's why. That's exactly why.
So today with the campers, we went through a little bit about performance anxiety. So could you guys give some of the highlights of those work sessions?
I have a little ice cream in my mouth.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, you keep going with the ice
It's
cream.
Sunday.
So when we discuss performance anxiety at True Sport, what we're really talking about is those moments where our young athletes get nervous. They're about to do something either in competition, they're learning a new skill, they're having to meet new people, or maybe it's a test that they're taking at school.
Or Sunday Night Live.
Or they're filming Sunday Night Live, Sundae, Night Live. And they may find themselves feeling discomfort or nerves. All of us do, right? Even as adults, we all feel those pressures sometimes. And it's important, one, that our young people know it's okay to feel the things you're feeling. But how do we take those experiences and those moments, work through them, persevere, and then make the best decisions for ourselves long term?
I think it's really important to tell athletes that you are going to be nervous. You are going to do things that make you feel uncomfortable because you've never done a lot of these sports before. And that's totally fine. Like, I still get nervous at times. But learning how you deal with your nerves, your fear, your anxiety, that's a superpower, because if you can control those feelings, like, I know my hands are going to get a little sweaty. I know that, yeah, my stomach's going to turn a little bit. And if you can harness that and then be able to compete knowing that, like, it is a true superpower. But it's something that takes decades to learn. And I think helping kids understand that going through these emotions is completely normal is really important.
And I just want to touch on something you were saying today, and something we preach here at Camp Susquehannock is to try new things, whether that's the climbing tower, the lake, angle ball, tennis, sports you've never played before. Even in the dining hall, we're encouraging kids to try new foods. Something you highlighted many times today, which I thought went really well with the kids, and I think they really understood that, was this idea of failing forward. Could
Yeah.
you just touch on that a little bit and explain what that is exactly?
Yeah, so when I said, 20 years of failure, obviously there are some successes. I'm not looking like a pessimistic viewpoint of my career, but when you try new things, you're not going to be perfect. Like, the first time you go to play baseball, you're probably not going to hit a home run. You're probably going to strike out, unfortunately, but you're going to learn, like, okay, I need to change up my stance. I need to change up my swing pattern. And every time you go back to bat, if you can take what you've learned from your past experience and push that forward, that's what I mean by failing forward. So you can mess up, you can make mistakes, like, laugh it off. Like, there's a lot of ways to deal with that. But as long as you take what you're learning and applying it to the future, that's how you grow. Because if you can just get 1% better every single day over a couple weeks, that's a big improvement. Over a couple months, that's dramatic. Over a couple years, you're going to become proficient at what you're doing. But if you're scared of making those mistakes, if you're scared of failing and you don't want to address that uncomfortable, like, oh, I didn't really do it so well, you're not going to move forward as fast. So being okay with failure and learning from it is so important in my mind. And it's great that kids get to learn that here.
I would add too, knowing we're talking to our families at home, a lot of the pressures some of these athletes go through and face, which can lead to fear of failure, is external. And so us thinking about how do I support my young people knowing that they're going to understand their external pressures, they're going to have pressure on themselves, and encourage them to learn through failure and let failure be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing I said, like, before like my fourth and final run at the Olympics in Sylving, like sitting in an Olympic medal position, it's right. I don't want to let down my family. I don't want to let down my friends. I sacrificed years to do this sport. I don't want to, let down my coaches, my teammates, all the people that have put all this trust in me. And that can become really overwhelming if you're just thinking about like, oh my God, don't mess up. Or you can switch that and it's like, I've had the opportunity to train fully my entire life for this moment. Like, I am ready, I am committed, I have the best support group around me. And all of a sudden you're going to the handles, not focused on messing up because of fear of what other people might think, but you're going to the handles confident because of the trust that people have instilled in you. And if you get that by coming to these kind of camps and being with like friends and trying new things and taking all of that experience and pushing it forward and not being scared. So I think what's happening here is a really special thing.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree.
Yeah. That's why we're here.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna end it on that note. Thank you, Chris, for those wise words. And Audrey,
We're going to end it on this note.
maybe
Sunday's a
we all
good
should.
day.
Not a bad idea.
Audrey, Chris, thank you for being here with us.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Elliot,
guys.
Abigail.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.
Yes. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, guys.